In this video, we're going to talk about how to write a good thesis. We're going to look specifically at writing the thesis for your current compare-contrast assignment. Before we get started, I do want to apologize. The same cold I had in that compare-contrast video is continuing on. So my voice is a little stuffy and I may sneeze during the video, but the show must go on. So to write a good thesis, you need three core elements. And you already know this from our previous discussion of the thesis statement in Module 2. So you need to have a clear statement of your main idea or argument, a statement of your approach. This is basically the plan for how you want to develop your argument, and some indication of why the argument is significant. So let's look at an example for this paper. So you're doing a character comparison of characters in at least two different stories. So here's an example. I want to compare the narrators in Tope Folarin's story Miracle and Janine Capel-Cruset's story Resurrection. So the first thing I need is a clear statement of that main idea. And in this case, it just needs to be what I'm comparing. The narrators in Tope Folarin's story Miracle and Janine Capel-Cruset's story Resurrection. That's an incomplete sentence, right? But that's fine because we're building a thesis. So that's just the first part of a statement. The second thing we need is our plan of attack, so to speak, how we're going to develop that point. In this case, we're doing comparison and contrast. So I'm going to state what I'm comparing and contrasting. Here's my argument. The narrators are similar in their desire to protect their community from being hurt, but distinct in their approach to God, faith, and justice. So I'm saying they're similar in how they want to protect their community, but they're distinct in their approach to God, faith, and justice. My final thing is a statement of the general significance. This shows that even if we have the same goals, we may get there by very different means. So at this point, if you're watching along, I'd suggest you pause, look at the feedback I gave you on the thesis you submitted this weekend, and see if, based on what I've said and what you've just seen, you have all of those elements. If you do, then you can now use the thesis as a guide to develop your full essay. Let me show you what I mean. If we take this first sentence, the first part of our thesis statement, the narrator in Folarin's story Miracle and Janine Capel-Cruset's Resurrection, we can figure out what we need to say, what we need to prove to our readers to support this first claim. And in this case, we're just introducing two characters. So that's all we need to do. We might even do this in our intro paragraph. We might do it in a paragraph immediately after the intro if we want to spend a little more time. But all we need to do really is make it clear to our readers who the two characters are and what stories they're coming out of. For the middle part of the thesis, we've got a lot more work to do. If we want to show our readers how they're similar in terms of protecting their community, but different in their approach to God, to faith, and to justice, that suggests we need probably 4 paragraphs, right? One for each of those ideas. And in each paragraph, we're going to bring in an argument where we look at each character in turn, we provide some evidence, and we make a case that, for example, in the first paragraph, that they both want to protect their community, or after that, that they're different in how they understand God. So again, if we're following the thesis, this gives us a really clear pattern of development. We need 4 paragraphs. In each paragraph, we're going to compare or contrast our two characters on a single point. And then finally, we want to make this bigger claim. Even if we have the same goals, we may get there by very different means. And geez, this sounds like a conclusion to me. So this is probably going to be my final paragraph where I try to explain why I think this is what the stories show. So thank you for bearing with me on this sniffly journey we've taken together today. I hope this helps you as you figure out how to go from this thesis you formed using my guidelines this weekend into actually drafting your paper. The key things to keep in mind: if the thesis does what it needs to do, then it's given you a pattern, it's given you a guide, and now all you need to do is go in And for each main idea in your thesis, write a body paragraph. And in that body paragraph, make sure that you do what you've set out to do and that you provide evidence in the form of quotations that you're taking directly from the readings. Thank you for watching.